This is Odin's Wolf Survival, and I'm in the sunlit subterranean caverns of Wolfhaven. And on the shield today, we have a multi-tool by Tactiman. Yes, it is made in China. The materials are 440A for the scissors and the knife blade. The rest of it's 420, which for the saw blade, the other serrated blade, and a can opener, which it's not my favorite grades of steel in either case. This runs in on Amazon at just shy of $22. The one thing I like about it is all the tools lock, as you'll see in a minute. The blade come in relatively sharp, but being 440A, it doesn't really hold it through much use. I mean, it's okay, but it's not a good carbon steel. As I said, that they lock the the scissors and the knife, or side locks basically, which would in a pocket knife be considered a liner lock. And it bites into the thumbnail. It won't quite get hair. I've noticed unless you put a fairly steep pitch on it, it likes to roll the edge. Again, that's part of owning a 440 blade. But I like the shape of the blade. It does cut. Which it's not a bad little knife. This thing has 9 tools. That's the main blade. This is the scissors, and it locks too. But the trick on it is they make the spring tensioned with the lock. So you have to open them up, pull it down to make it click. Then your spring is right there, and they pop open. I've read in the reviews that they couldn't get it to work. That's all it is to it. And if you don't do that, if you leave it closed and try to open it like this, you won't get it to lock. Or you'll have to put way more force in it than what you should and break it. And I was reading that they say these scissors don't cut. This is leather. These scissors actually cut pretty good. I was kind of impressed by them. Now, the long term on things, I'm not sure quite how well they'd hold up. Opening these up, you have a serrated blade, a saw, which is okay, with a fishhook remover at the very end. Then you have the third blade, which is a can opener, like a bottle cap opener, and a wire stripper. I don't have any wire to test that on, but you can see it's sharp. So it's ground so you can feel it. It'd take the insulation off without too much of a hassle, unless it's the old tarred type. Then good luck. Okay, we'll go with the serrated blade. I'm not a fan of serrated blades by any way, shape, or form. I'd almost rather they put a file in. But it is good for cutting fibrous nasties. Oops. Rocked my table a bit. It did cut through the cord. These are, if you don't have the round sharpeners, they're kind of a pain in the act to sharpen. These are locking also, so you push this back here to close it. The saw felt sharp when I first got it. Playing around with it a little bit, you can see that this is pretty much a no-go. The saw is very poor. It's not cutting at all. It might work on green stuff. You can almost feel the edge. I'm going to try to take my jasper stone to it down the sides and see if I can't get it to sharpen back up, because it might have pulled a burr off. That's what the main blade did too. it started rolling a burr till I got it sharpened down, and it's doing a little better. But yeah, it's not even cutting. So that's a fail as far as I'm concerned. The lock does hold quite well. I'm curious on the... Well, the wire cutter's sharp enough to cut leather, so it would work on insulation. You can see right there. Pull the wire up through. I don't happen to have any wire with me. Then the can opener. Bottle opener, typical. Pop the cap. Again, those are kind of going out of phase, so you don't see too many of those around, or they're screw tops, so that's kind of a moot point. The can opener is along the lines of like a Swiss Army or the other types of knife can openers. You hook the hook on the outside of the can, drop the blade on the inside, and just push it through. Pull it around and just walk it around the can. And this does work pretty good. It's got a little longer length of draw to it, so it's actually pretty easy to work. You can see that. Easy peasy. It's not the fastest thing in the world. But if you're around cement or something like that, you could cut quite through it pretty quick rubbing the can out on the cement. But it will open up the can, as you can see. Weighs in at, well, let's see what specs say. Weighs in at 4.94 ounces, 5 ounces. Has a pocket clip and a glass breaker on the back, which they say is carbide, but I'm not sure. Haven't went out and tested it on any glass, but I'm sure it will work. Close length is just a bit over 4.5 inches. And the open length is 7.28. Again, like I said, it's made in China, so there you have it. This is a little better quality than what I was expecting for $23, but yet at the same time, like I said, the saw sucks. And the main blade, although I like the shape of it, and the edge it's a functional edge. It isn't what I would consider sharp, but like I said, it's functional. It bites into the thumbnail, so it would cut. But it did have a bad burr that rolled off when you first started using it, so you might as well get a fairly fine stone and work the edge over. But this is the Tactiman multi-tool, and it runs in at $22 or $23 on Amazon. I'll have a link in the bottom. And that's all the tools, or the blades, however you want to call it. This is Odin's Wolf Survival. Thank you for watching. It is right at the end of the new year, or it's basically New Year night. So have a glorious day, and I hope that this upcoming year is much better than the last one, because the last one was not really all that good. Thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe, and share.